Welcome to the Gym Success Podcast.
Hello, everyone.
We're really glad you're here. This is for you, our dedicated listeners, gym owners, gym operators, managers, salespeople.
Gym entrepreneurs, personal trainers, basically anyone driving success in the fitness industry.
I'm Bonnie.
And I'm George. And today, we're diving into a really insightful white paper by jthomas.
Yeah, it's called Just Ask, the underrated power of the ask in gym membership sales.
And you might think, well, the biggest hurdle in sales is, I don't know, the competition, or maybe pricing, or finding leads.
Right, the usual suspects.
Exactly. But what jthomas argues, and he's got years in this industry, is that the real issue is often much, much simpler, almost overlooked, really.
And it's potentially costing gyms, well, millions every year in lost opportunities.
So our goal today is pretty straightforward. We want to pull out the key actionable insights from Jim's paper.
Things you can actually use, like right away, to tweak your sales approach and hopefully boost your gym success.
Yeah, this isn't just theory. We're talking practical stuff. Real-world strategies.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Jim starts with this great story from his early days, a classic case of a sale that almost slipped away.
He mentions being the front desk, and a colleague comes back from a tour looking, well, pretty down.
Yeah, saying something like, yeah, he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
About the prospect.
Right. But then Jim steps in. His manager actually asked him to talk to the guy.
Okay.
So Jim goes back, asks, just a few genuine questions. He makes sure the prospect understood the options from the tour. And then just calmly, confidently, he asks the question. Of the two plans you saw, which one do you prefer?
And just like that.
Just like that. The prospect apparently said plan B immediately.
Yeah.
And joined. Right then and there.
Wow. Okay, so here's the kicker, right? Jim really emphasizes this wasn't about tricky tactics or some big flashy promotion.
No, none of that.
It was simply about asking, that one simple step.
Which, it really makes you think, doesn't it? It raises this huge question for everyone listening. Jim's point is stark. A lot of sales aren't lost because of price or competition.
Or the economy.
Exactly. They're lost because nobody actually asked for the sale.
It sounds almost too simple.
It does. You could have the best gym, the perfect offer, a prospect who's genuinely interested, maybe even ready to buy.
But if you don't ask,
poof, the opportunity just vanishes. It falls flat.
It seems so obvious when you say it like that. Just ask. But, if it's that simple, why isn't everyone doing it consistently? What's holding people back?
Well, that's what Jim digs into, these sort of silent psychological barriers we put up around that moment.
Okay.
Kind of profound when you think about the potential revenue just left behind because of not asking.
So if the ask is that critical, what are the big mistakes people are making? Why aren't more sales closing?
Jim identifies 5 really common ones, and I bet these will sound familiar to a lot of folks listening.
Okay, let's break them down.
First up, tour fatigue.
Tour fatigue?
Yeah, this is where you just, overload the prospect. You show them every single machine, every feature, every corner of the gym.
Demos on everything.
Right. You drown them in details. But you never actually make that clear transition to, okay, let's get you started.
It's like the house tour example he uses, right? Showing every room, but never asking if they want to buy the house.
Exactly that. You talk them into exhaustion, but not into action.
I can totally picture that. Eyes glazing over by the third functional trainer explanation. Okay, what's number 2?
Number 2 is huge. Fear of rejection.
Yeah, the big one.
Yeah. And I think this is especially true in fitness, where maybe staff come from a training background, not necessarily sales. So consciously or not, they avoid asking because they don't want to hear no.
So they just kind of skirt around it?
Completely. They leave the decision totally hanging without any sort of prompt or guidance, like a trainer finishing a great session but then never asking about renewing the package.
Oh, I've been there. Early on, definitely. You give a killer tour, know all the answers, but when it comes to actually asking them to join, gulp, you just end with so, yeah, let us know.
It's such a common trap. Okay, number 3, Jim points out, is prejudging the prospect.
Meaning? Making
assumptions. You look at someone or listen to their questions, or maybe they seem a bit hesitant, and you decide, they're not going to join.
Like, they're just here for the free pass, or they asked about price, they probably can't afford it.
Exactly. And doing that just cuts off the opportunity right there.
Yeah.
You don't give yourself the chance to actually understand their needs or help them. You've decided for them.
Yeah, I've heard stories of people who look like tire kickers becoming the most dedicated members. So true. Okay, number 4.
Number 4, letting them decide later.
The classic think it over.
Yep. Phrases like, let me know if you have questions, or think about it and get back to us. Jim is clear. That is not a close. Look, empowering people is good, but often prospects actually need that clear guidance. They need a nudge, a prompt to make the decision right in.
Otherwise, they walk out, life happens.
And they might never come back.
Yeah.
Not because they didn't want to join, but because you didn't create that clear path forward in the moment.
Okay, makes sense. And the fifth one?
Fifth is simply a lack of confidence or training.
Just not knowing how.
Pretty much. Many sales folks just haven't been shown how to ask effectively, how to make it feel natural and sincere and, well, work. It's often a training gap, not a lack of wanting to succeed, just not having the right tools.
So it's not just about knowing what to ask, but the psychology behind it all.
Exactly. It's way more than just technique. It's understanding the human side of the conversation.
So how does Jim suggest we reframe this whole interaction? You mentioned people don't want to feel sold.
Right. That's key. Nobody likes feeling pressured or like just another number. But what people do want is help. They want help reaching their goals. So when you ask confidently, you're not pushing them. You're actually guiding them. You're helping them make a decision that serves the goals they told you about. It changes everything.
That's a really powerful shift. And Jim says something about prospects looking for permission to say yes. That really caught my attention.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? It flips the whole dynamic. We often think the prospect holds all the power, that they're evaluating us. But Jim suggests many prospects walk in wanting to join, seeing the value, but they're hesitant, maybe unsure how to proceed, maybe needing validation.
Like needing someone to say, yes, this is the right step for you. Let's do this.
Precisely. Your confident ask gives them that permission. It removes the friction. It says, it's okay to commit to this positive change. We've got you.
So it's leadership, not pressure.
Exactly. You're leading them towards something good for them, guiding them, not strong-arming them.
Okay, so if that's the mindset, how do we actually do it without feeling, pushy or awkward? Jim gives a practical approach, right?
He does. A 5-step framework. And this is designed to make asking feel much more natural, like part of the flow.
Okay, let's walk through it. Step 1.
Step 1, build rapport first. This is non-negotiable. You have to start personal. Connect.
Ask those key questions.
Right. What brings you in today? What are you hoping to achieve? And maybe the most important one, why is that goal important to you?
Get to their why.
Absolutely. We get genuinely about them. Understand first, sell later. Or rather, understand first, guide later.
That first step feels crucial. Easy to rush past it. Okay, step 2.
Step 2, confirm the fit. So after the tour, after showing them around, you need to explicitly connect the dots.
How so?
Reinforce how your gym specifically helps their goals, the ones they just told you about.
Okay, so like you mentioned wanting to lose 20 pounds for the wedding. Well, our coaching program and these classes are perfect for that.
Exactly. You're showing them you listened, and you have the solution tailored to them. We've helped others with goals just like yours achieve amazing things here. It builds confidence in the solution.
Nice. It feels like a natural bridge then, not just a random pitch. What's step 3?
Step 3 is maybe the most tactical, and it's critical. Give 2 choices.
Right. This is where you avoid the yes-no trap.
Absolutely. Never, ever ask, so do you want to join? That puts all the pressure on a single yes or no.
Instead,
you present options they've likely already seen. Of the 2 plans we discussed, the month-to-month or the annual, which one works better for you? Or which of those options fits your budget best?
so you're assuming they're joining, they just need to pick how.
Precisely. It reframes the decision. It's not if, it's which. Much lower pressure, much easier for them to say yes to one of the options.
That shift from if to which seems subtle but really powerful. Okay, step 4.
Step 4, assume the sale in your language and actions after they choose.
Meaning?
Once they pick plan B or whatever, you immediately pivot to forward-moving language. Great choice. Let's get you started with that one right now. Or, excellent, we'll get you set up for your welcome session this week. Or simply, okay, perfect. Here's what we need to do next.
So you're smoothly moving into the enrollment process.
Yes. It shows confidence, makes the transition seamless, and signals that joining is the natural next step.
Okay, and the final step, number 5.
Number 5, be quiet and wait.
The power of silence.
Immense power. After you ask your which option question, or after you make that assumptive closing statement, just stop talking.
Don't fill the silence.
Do not fill the silence. Give them space. Let them process and respond. Usually the person who speaks first after they ask, well, they kind of lose control of the situation. Your silence shows confidence. Let them answer.
That takes practice, I bet. Resisting the urge to jump back in.
It really does, but it's crucial. Okay, so that's the individual approach, but this isn't just for the salesperson, right?
No, definitely not. If you're an owner or a
Yeah.
manager, this needs to be bigger. It needs to be part of the culture.
You're absolutely right, because like we said, many staff, especially trainers, might shy away from selling.
Yeah.
They see it as maybe pushy or not their role. But when they start to see asking is genuinely helping someone achieve life-changing goals, that changes everything.
Their confidence goes up.
Massively. I've seen it happen too. Trainers who are hesitant suddenly become really natural closers once they reframe it as guidance and support.
So for the owners and managers listening, what are the concrete steps Jim suggests to build this asking culture?
He lays out some clear actions. First, train weekly. Consistency is key. Practice asking techniques regularly. Repetition builds that muscle memory and confidence.
Like drills.
Kind of, yeah. Second, role play. Practice handling common objections. Practice the transitions. Practice the different asks. It makes the real thing much less daunting.
Reduces that anxiety.
Exactly. Third, and this is important for motivation, recognize and celebrate the ask, not just the closed sale.
Reward the behavior itself.
Yes. Acknowledge the courage it takes to ask. It reinforces that asking is the win, reducing the fear tied only to the outcome.
Okay. And finally,
Monitor and coach the ask-to-close ratio. Look at the numbers. Are people asking? When they ask, what happens? It helps you pinpoint where support is needed and track progress.
makes sense. Data-driven coaching.
And, the power of asking, it goes way beyond just that initial membership sale.
Right. Jim talks about integrating it everywhere.
Yeah, making it part of the gym's DNA. Think about it.
You can ask for referrals.
Exactly. Not just hoping they happen.
Yeah.
Actively asking, hey, who do you know who'd love to join you on this fitness journey?
You can ask members to share on social media.
Mind snapping a pic and tagging us. We love seeing your workouts. Simple asks.
Asking for reviews.
Would you be willing to share your experience on Google? It really helps us out.
Asking the community to collaborate.
Reaching out to that local juice bar or physio. Hey, interested in a partnership?
And maybe most importantly, asking your own team for ideas.
Yes, empowering them. What promotions do you think would work? What can we improve? Asking builds buy-in and generates great ideas.
It really all comes back to this core perspective shift, doesn't it? Selling isn't a dirty word.
Not when you frame it right. Jim puts it powerfully. Every person who walks out without joining might be a missed opportunity to genuinely help them change their life.
If you truly believe in what your gym offers.
And you should. Then you almost have an obligation to help them take that step, to guide them towards achieving those goals they walked in with.
And that guidance, that help, it starts with one thing.
It starts with the ask, with a question.
Jim has that great quote, confidence is silent, insecurity is loud.
The quiet confidence of asking for the sale will transform your gym's bottom line one conversation at a time. It's simple, but profound.
So the challenge Jim leaves us with, for everyone listening, are you actually asking?
Are you asking your team to commit to it? Are you consistently asking for those referrals?
Are you asking prospects what truly matters to them?
Are you asking your team to really buy into the mission? Are you asking your community for support?
Because at the end of the day,
the sale just doesn't happen without the ask.
And maybe think beyond sales too. Where else in your business or even just in life are you holding back from asking?
Yeah, what opportunities might be waiting just one question away? It's a good thought exercise.
Definitely. So if you are looking for more direct help with closing sales or maybe training your team on these techniques or just generally improving your gym systems,
Jim Thomas and his team at FM Consulting are experts in this. They're available to help.
you can contact Jim Thomas directly. His number is 214-629-7223.
Or you can shoot him an email at jthomas@fmconsulting.net. That's jthomas@fmconsulting.net.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Gym Success Podcast today.
We really hope diving into Jim Thomas's insights gives you some immediate practical value for your gym.
We'll be back soon with more actionable insights to help you succeed.